Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Steven Santino, and today I'm going to be talking about cars. Now, why would I talk about cars? We all know that cars are big vehicles that come in different sizes, but they can always carry just big amounts of weight. They can carry a lot of luggage, many people, families. And with all that stuff, they can still go in high speeds, cover big distances. And there are many good sides to these cars. And cars come in different forms. I mean, they come in fast racing cars, slow cars, new cars, old cars, cool cars, and even not as cool cars. Now, like I said, there are many benefits to these cars, but what are the bad things about these cars? What are the bad effects of these cars? Now, cars use petrol. The cars burn the petrol, and this petrol is turned into a gas. And this gas is released into the oxygen, the way we see in this picture right here. Now, you may not see this very often, and that is because as cars advance, you don't see things like that, like from the back of the car, smoke coming out, because they come in different ways. They come out in different ways, not just like this. Now, why is this so bad for the environment? Because of the greenhouse gases. Now, by releasing this burned petrol, you send bad gases into the oxygen, and at the end, where oxygen just stops, there are the greenhouse gases. Now, these greenhouse gases are the problem. Now, greenhouse gases allow sunlight to come in, but when it bounces off land or water to come out and go back into space, the greenhouse gases prevent that from happening, and they keep the sunlight inside, heating up the earth and causing beautiful icebergs like this one to melt and break apart. These two pictures were taken at 12 March 2011 and 16 March 2011, and as you can see here, the ice has already started cracking, and that's because of the air being too warm. And as you can see here, they've obviously been taken away from by the waves. And this could start happening more often. Already big chunks of ice are coming out, melting, and raising to a certain extent the sea level, which is what many people are worried about, because this sea level rise could flood a few countries, like for example Holland. Now, you could also argue that cars use electricity as well. This is a problem with electricity. Power plants create the electricity, and power plants release a lot of bad air into the oxygen. As you can see right here in this picture, you can see a lot of bad gases, greenhouse gases being released. Now, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you guys. You do not have to listen to my opinion. I'm just letting it out there. I think that it is a lost cause. I think that the greenhouse gases are already there. The earth will keep on warming up, and that the ice will eventually completely melt. The North Pole will just be land, a bit of land. The sea level will be much higher. A few parts of the world will be flooded. For example, the coast of Holland, and the coast in Amsterdam, actually, who is a part of Holland, they have taken action, to a certain extent, big measures. Like, what measures, you may be asking? Because they have substituted cars with a different vehicle that does not burn any fuel, does not use any electricity. It is just with chains, with wheels. And you may be asking, what is that? Well, here is what it is. A bicycle. A simple bicycle. Only in Amsterdam, they're not as simple. They are used to transport families. Here's a mother with her 2 kids. Here is an entire family riding in different bicycles. And let's take, for example, this amazing woman. As you can see right here, she is taking her 3 kids and some shopping home. I mean, she probably just had a hard day, shopping, taking care of all the things, and she took herself with high heels and 3 more kids. That is just extraordinary. And I would like to say that I think that what they are doing is great, and that other countries start doing it as well. And this is what the video is pretty much about, because kids just always ask their parents to go to places, for the parents to bring them. And as you can see here in the picture, a little kid brought by his parents somewhere. And this is what's so bad, because kids cannot drive cars themselves. And I could just be sitting here and telling you, use bicycles more often. Now, there is a slight problem to that, and that slight problem is the price. Bicycles in our days cost so much. Let's take, for example, the most commonly used bicycle by kids and teenagers, the BMX. It is a great bicycle, great for tricks, great gear and everything. And the average cost of these bicycles is 250 euro to 300 euro. 300 usually for teenagers. And this is just such a huge cost. And families then in general, like in Amsterdam, look at things like that they do. They buy these multi-use bicycles. These not multi-use bicycles, but bicycles used by entire family. 4 people riding the bicycle and one in the little thing in the back. And these are type of things that places like Athens could start doing. But then there is also the problem that many kids, kind of like me, do not know how to ride a bicycle, or not so well, at least not well enough to be going on the streets, going far away. That's why I also support bicycle lessons. I did some research and I did not find, at least from the research that I did, I cannot find any bicycle lessons for in Athens. And things like this, they're just heartbreaking, because we could just start bicycle lessons. Everything would be so much easier. Bicycles would be used so much more often, and that is another thing that I would like to support. But instead of protesting like idiots, we could just do something simpler, like maybe having forms that you fill in, and asking pretty much companies to do things like building bicycle roads. Maybe that in a few years, because it seems a bit hard for places like Greece to do that, because that costs a lot of money. It is a hard process that takes many people, which is why people could even volunteer for things like. And by doing that, we could separate bicycles from cars, and that is really important to do if people start using bicycles more often, because cars and bicycles together are not so good. I mean, if 2 cars just bump onto each other, which happens really often, it won't be such a big deal for cars. I mean, sure, it will cost some money to repair. The person might have been hurt a bit, not too bad though. But if you fall off a bicycle, it could be so much more dangerous than it is if you are hit in a car. And in places like Holland, every street there is, every street that is used a lot, there is always a little path that allows bicycles to ride on. And another thing that I would like to talk, bicycle multi-use. They in Athens, you will never see somebody with a bicycle coming back from doing some groceries, like this woman right here. And you would never see things like this. Things that are just so simple and safe as well. And it's just so sad how people will not take some of their time to do things like this. And it's kind of a shame that bicycle companies will not make bicycles like this right here. This man could have just done so much shopping and done all that stuff, and he just put it in the back of his bike In Greece, oh no, there in Greece, you just take your car, go do all that shopping and put it in the trunk of the car. Nice and simple. But it would be just so much better for the environment and even for yourself sometimes, you know, because it's obviously the petrol is really expensive. And by doing things like this, you would, well, first of all, you would for sure not end up like this, you know, carrying your luggage with one hand while steering with the other, hang it from the side of your bicycle or so. And that is just something that, in my opinion, is very important, because it is just so much better if you just take out your bicycle and you can do more things. You can go around more easily with your bicycle, and you can send your kids out to ride bicycles and do things, go to places, and you will not have to drive them there. And it will just be so much better for yourself, for your time, for the environment, excuse me. And sometimes it would even be safer. And yeah, I mean, even car lessons, to take a car lesson, it just takes so long, and many people cannot afford cars, and or driving lessons, or the petrol that it takes to make a car run. And that is another reason why it would just be so much easier to use bicycles more often, and it would be so much better for companies to lower the prices of bicycles and use bicycles more often. So that is what I wanted to talk about, and thank you so much for watching. I hope I could get a good grade for this, and if you want, go ahead and subscribe while you're at it. And have a nice day, I guess, if you want to.